I wonder if the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, there he is. What's up, Greg? And the president of the United States, there he is. What's up, President Biden? I wonder if they're talking. I don't think so. In this video, I'll talk to you about the president saying, hey, we need to remain vigilant. The things could get worse because new variants are emerging. And on the other hand, the governor of Texas says Texas must open 100%. And the governor of Texas has ended the mask mandate in Texas and essentially mandated that Texas reopen completely very soon. In this video, we'll dig into the latest news as far as stimulus is concerned. Also, essentially, this new battle that's emerging between the federal directive from the White House and what individual states want to do as the country tries to reopen and as the country tries to gradually get back on its feet. Here's a brand new article on your screen that was reported by Bloomberg. As always, you'll get a link to all of our resources in the description section below. Texas lifts mask mandate amid falling virus hospitalizations. Now, I can tell you that the Democrats in Texas aren't happy. This move will kill Texans, according to the Texas Democratic Party chief. So here's what's going on. The governor of Texas, the Republican Greg Abbott, what he did was he lifted the mask mandate and other pandemic restrictions because there are declining hospitalizations, which is a good thing, in the state of Texas and declining infections in the second largest U.S. state. The largest U.S. state, as you know, is the state of California. Effective March 10th, if you're in the state of Texas, all businesses will be open at 100% of capacity. All businesses, everyone. So all businesses includes stadiums, includes movie theaters, restaurants, everything back to normal, 100%, as far as the governor of Texas is concerned. He said this during a media briefing in the past 24 hours, and his executive orders allow county judges to reinstate antivirus rules should the hospitalization surge. In other words, there's an out, if you will, for the governor in case things happen to get worse. In fact, let's roll the tape and hear from the governor in Texas as he announces that it's time to open 100%. Let's watch.
For nearly a half a year, most businesses have been open either 75% or 50%. And during that time, too many Texans have been sidelined from employment opportunities. Too many small business owners have struggled to pay their bills. This must end. It is now time to open Texas 100%. Everybody who wants to work should have that opportunity. Every business that wants to be open should be open. Now, let me tell you why now is the right time to do this. Texas is far better positioned now than when I issued my last executive order back in October. And we are in a completely different position than when I issued my first executive order last March. Back then, hardly any Texan knew what PPE was. Now we have an abundance of it. Early on, there were no COVID tests. Now we have the ability to do well over 100,000 COVID tests per day.
Yeah, that just happened. And I don't think that the governor of Texas and the president of the United States are speaking. In fact, before I show you some recent comments from the president, let me tell you what Speaker Pelosi is up to. Here's a headline of an article from CNN on your screen. Pelosi says minimum wage fight not over. We will have other reconciliation. So it's very clear that even though the minimum wage is not going to be a part of the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan that is expected to be debated on the floor of the Senate, that debate may already have begun by the time you're watching this video. Not only is that going to happen, the $15 minimum wage being left out of that bill, but the Democrats seem to have other ideas to try and force minimum wage, if not by raising taxes on companies, which, by the way, was their plan B, which didn't go anywhere. It looks like they may have some other tricks up their sleeve. Here's a quote from Speaker Pelosi. Just because this may not survive the Senate right now does not mean the fight is anywhere near over. She called the $15 minimum wage wildly unpopular, and she said the current rate of $7.25 an hour, which is the current minimum wage, which, by the way, has not been amended since July 2009, well over a decade, she called the $7.25 minimum wage pathetic. In the meantime, here's another headline on your screen also from CNN. The president said to Senate Democrats in a call yesterday that they may need to accept provisions in the stimulus bill even if they didn't like it. According to this reporting, and by the way, we'll provide you with a link to all of our resources in the description section below as always. That's something we've been doing since day one on our channel. Biden told Democrats that the vote he's asking them to take is not politically difficult, arguing that it is popular and has bipartisan support outside the halls of Congress, meaning both Democrats and Republicans across the country support this massive stimulus package. And he said Democrats need to show voters they can accomplish this major achievement, while conceding that there may be some parts of the policy that not all Democrats will get behind. And the president has been issuing warnings about the pandemic, asking us not to let our guard down because there could be new variants. Let's actually take a look at a segment with President Biden. By the way, I've sped up this segment with President Biden, and if you noticed, I also sped up the earlier segment with the Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The videos are sped up at 1.5x speed just so that this video could be shorter and more compressed. So both the video clips of the Texas Governor Greg Abbott and President Biden are at 1.5x speed in this video. Let's take a look at President Biden saying things could get worse as new variants spread. Now is not the time to let our guard down, in recent comments from President Biden. Now, by the way, this is exactly why I said that President Biden and the Texas Governor Greg Abbott clearly aren't speaking. Let's hear from President Biden. Let's roll the tape.
I want to conclude with this. We're making progress from the mess we inherited. We're moving in the right direction. And today's announcements are a huge step in our effort to beat this pandemic. But I have to be honest with you. This fight is far from over. I told you I'd be straight up with you from the beginning. As I said many times, things may get worse again as new variants spread and as we face setbacks like recent winter storms in the Midwest and South. But our administration will never take this public health threat lightly. Though we celebrate the news of a third vaccine, I urge all Americans, please keep washing your hands. Stay socially distanced. Wear masks. Keep wearing them. Get vaccinated when it's your turn. Now's not the time to let up. I've asked the country to wear a mask for my first 100 days in office. Now's not the time to let our guard down. People's lives are at stake. We have already, and I carry this in my pocket, lost more, as of today, we've lost more than 511,839 Americans as of today. It's got to stop. We need the United States Senate to follow the House and pass the American Rescue Plan. Because despite the optimism, without new resources, our entire effort will be set back. We need the resources of the American Rescue Plan, and we need it urgently. We need them expanding testing, ramp up vaccine distribution, fund FEMA and other federal vaccine efforts, and continue reimbursing states for their efforts. We need the resources to expand genomic sequencing to stay ahead of emerging variants, find the protective gear, transportation, staffing, and other costs required for school and business to open safely. We need to fund it. The bottom line is we need the American Rescue Plan now.
Wasn't that interesting? Now, just as he was leaving, the president did take one question. He was asked when this could end. He basically said things will be back to normal in a year. He didn't provide a specific time frame, and this is not the first time that he has refused to provide a specific time frame. He did say it's not over. We must stay vigilant. I think this is important. Let's all roll the tape and hear from President Biden.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, but we cannot let our guard down now or assure that victory is inevitable. We can't assume that. We must remain vigilant, act fast and aggressively, and look out for one another. That's how we're going to get ahead of this virus, get our economy going again, and get back to our loved ones. So thank you, and please, it's not over yet. Great news, but stay vigilant. May God bless you, and may God protect our troops. Thank you all very, very much.
Mr. President, based on the news you announced, when do you think things will get back to normal? When do you think things will get back to normal?
When do I think things will get back to normal? I've been cautioned not to give an answer to that because we don't know for sure. But my hope is, by this time next year, we're going to be back to normal, and before that, my hope. But again, it depends upon if people continue to be smart and understand that we still can have significant losses. There's a lot we have to do yet. So thank you.
That's it, everyone. The evolving stimulus talks and what I consider the upcoming battle between the federal government and different states when it comes to reopening. Do you think Texas is reopening too fast? Well, if you're specifically in the state of Texas, this matters more to you than anyone else. So I'd love to hear from you, whether you're from the state of Texas or not. Do you think the state of Texas is reopening faster than they should? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Or let me know if you agree with President Biden that we need to be careful. We shouldn't let our guard down because more variants are emerging. We should continue to mask. And by the way, the Texas governor said no more mask mandate effective the 10th of March. So do you feel that Texas is going too fast, or do you feel the president is being too conservative? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. The Texas Governor Greg Abbott and President Biden, when they watch the Ignition Time channel, they click the like button as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.